Do you agree with Steve Kerr that the season was a success?
No. Overall, no. There's some successful things, but no, you can't call this a success. We have exaggerated by a little bit. I'm guilty of it also. Like the Warriors roster. Like I didn't think the Warriors had enough shooting to be good. They wound up with a little more shooting than I thought they'd have. They made the Oubre trade, and then Wiggins turned out to shoot pretty well. But like, let's not exaggerate. Like they have nothing on the roster. They have an MVP caliber player in Steph. They have a former #1 overall draft pick who turned into a good two-way player in Wiggins. They have a defensive player of the year type guy, multiple-time All-Star in Draymond. And they have some interesting pieces. What they had to do was win. They had 2 chances to win a single game to get to the first round of the playoffs. I'm sorry, with everything I just said, and you have 2 chances just to win once against a compromised Lakers team, against a Memphis team, lose in the first round, at least get to the first round. They couldn't even do that. And why not? Look, I'm sure I'll hear a lot about how, like, I'm hating on Steph. I'm throwing shade at Steph because I say he's not on LeBron's level. Duh, look, he's not. But I brought up that I was there, saw you there, at Oracle when he had 4 minutes and 22 seconds in the fourth quarter, 7th game, to manufacture a single point, running the greatest half-court offense ever, came up with 0. You know what he did in the last 3:30 of overtime the other day? With the whole season on the line, get to the first round. 0 points, but he did have 0 assists, but also had 0 rebounds to lose in overtime and go home. I'm sorry. I can't call that, ultimately, when you take everything, a successful season. You had 2 shots to make the playoffs. You had an MVP player with the ball in his hands, couldn't get it done. Ultimately, that's a failure.
Sometimes I argue with you about this stuff and you're just flat out wrong. And then there are other times that we debate about it because we just have 2 different perspectives. We come from a different place. We prioritize different things. This is the latter here. I totally get you and everybody that thinks like you in terms of this Warriors season. Because you had a play-in tournament, you lost not once but twice. You lost to the Lakers and then you lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. So the play-in wasn't a success for you. When we say season, I'm thinking about the season in its totality, the 72 games played prior to the play-in game. And I would say that's a raving success. I shouldn't say raving success. It's a success. You went 39-33. Steph Curry, without Klay Thompson, reminded you of his greatness, leading the league in scoring at 32 a game, shooting about 49% from the field, shooting 42% from three-point range, okay? You discovered guys like a Jordan Poole, for example, and what kind of role he can ultimately play. James Wiseman goes down, he gets hurt. That's a 7-footer that can give you some things from the inside. On both ends of the floor. We can't forget that Kelly Oubre wasn't available. He was supposed to be there, okay? So when you look at it from that perspective, now let's fantasize for a second and say to ourselves, because this is how you have to look at a season that was devoid of championship expectations. If they were a championship contender and that was our expectation, you'd have a point. But nobody looked at the Golden State Warriors that way this year. But now, let's say Wiseman is healthy, Kelly Oubre is there, Andrew Wiggins is still there. Steph is still there. Jordan Poole is still there. And Draymond Green is still there. And a healthy Klay Thompson is coming back.
Yeah, I mean.
What I'm saying is, if you look at next season, same squad.
Yeah.
Same squad. You're talking about, in all likelihood, a berth in the conference finals. And so to me, when I look at it from that perspective, I'm going to sit up there and I'm going to say, I agree with Steve Kerr. I agree with Steve Kerr in terms of developing some of the younger guys, Steph Curry shining and shining brightly. Somebody's got to do something about Draymond Green shooting. Everything else is there.
He won the scoring title, some of the best records in the spring.
I said Draymond Green, no.
No, but I'm saying about Steph Curry.
I'm just looking
for
at
MVP.
Draymond Green shooting 27% from three-point range ain't going to cut it. And where Max and I inherently disagree is this part. Max wants to act like size doesn't matter a lot of times. We made a big deal when a Spud Webb or a Nate Robinson won the slam dunk contest. Why? Because they were miniature and did what they did. Whereas when Dwight Howard, even though he won a slam dunk title, when he put on a Superman cape, it wasn't that big of a deal to us.
Like time to respond to
because
that.
he's 6'11". He's 6'11". Chris Paul, for example, being a quintessential cerebral point guard. Isaiah Thomas being an all-time great, a miniature dynamo that can score. Allen Iverson, great pound for pound.
No, I don't think size doesn't matter.
But that's different than the Russell Westbrook with 6'4" and others. So I'm looking at Steph Curry. You bring up what he couldn't do in 3 minutes. I'm thinking about the fact that he finished with 39, and he had no help.
I'm not saying size doesn't matter. If anything, you're pointing out that it does. That you can't be the best player in the game at Steph. You can't be on LeBron's level at Steph's height because pound for pound you can be, inch for inch, but overall you can't.
As a shooter,
so what that tells, but I'm saying overall influence on championships. So that's why I point out Kevin Love and Kyrie had to get hurt to win the first one. You lost the second one, then you added KD. Like, what I saw from Steph in the final game and what I see on this team is the number one success of the season is you developed Andrew Wiggins. Either you can keep him and trade the draft pick, Minnesota's draft pick, and Wiseman into something great maybe, or maybe you package Wiggins too. But what I saw from the Warriors is they're going to have to do something to bring in a player better than Steph, taller maybe, if they want to get back to being a dynasty.
Hold on, whoa. Are you saying that Klay Thompson coming back with this squad wouldn't be enough for them
to win a championship? No, they wouldn't win a championship.
You don't think they can win a championship with Klay Thompson back?
I think they'll come a little short, yeah.
Let me tell you something. The Golden State Warriors with a healthy Klay and a healthy Steph.
They're going to win it next year?
I might pick them to win it all.
Oh, good, do it.
I might pick them to win it all. I might pick the Nets.
Max says they can't win a championship when he returns.
But he's saying Kevin Durant. You saying James Harden. I'm saying to you, Kevin Durant might be that difference. Okay, you tell me that, I'll stand down.
What do you mean?
That would be the reason that you would pick him.
Oh, sure. KD is the best player on the team. Harden runs the offense. If you take Harden off, they're not going to win. With Harden, they're going to win.
Okay. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.